Monday morning quarterback, evening edition with Billy Bob. Hope you had a great Monday. Mine was kind of elongated. I got started early and the day kind of dragged, and then it kind of picked up in the afternoon. And overall, you know what? It's pretty good because Mrs. Billy Bob's home, back from the OHIO. So that's great news, right? So a bunch of stuff to talk about. Steelers, not that I'm a Steeler fan, but I was a Steeler fan yesterday. They took care of them stinking Ravens. You know what? The Ravens, they've struggled the last two games, and let's hope they struggle next week because they're coming to First Energy Stadium, and they're going to play the Brownies for the second time in 3 weeks, but the Brownies are coming off a bye, so fingers crossed. Maybe Baker got healthy a little bit. What's that? Oh, it's the ice machine. What else could it be? Yeah, Mrs. Billy Bob's home, and the ice maker works. See how that goes? So, congratulations to the Cincinnati Bearcats, undefeated, the only undefeated team in Division One, and so 13-0, and they're going to the dance, the big dance. Yeah, there you go, Mrs. Billy Bob. Yay, Bearcats. There you go. Congrats to Luke and the crew. So they're one of the four. We've got Alabama number 1, Michigan number 2, the Georgia Bulldogs number 3, and Cincinnati Bearcats number 4. So the Bearcats are playing Bama at about 3:30 on New Year's Eve. So you can watch that game before you go out and dance the night away. And then about 8 o'clock or so in the Orange Bowl. I think the first game's at the Cotton Bowl. Second game is the Orange Bowl, and that is the Georgia Bulldogs and the Wolverines. So we'll talk more about that in the next few weeks. I mean, Jesus, we got a month almost to get ready for that. Well, 3 weeks. Congratulations to Marcus Freeman, new head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Congratulations, Marcus. We hope you do well, but we don't want you to do well opening day next year when you play the Buckeyes in the shoe. So, got to root against you there. Couple things with the Buckeyes. You know, a lot of news even in an off week. Garrett Wilson interviewed him on 97 The Fan, and he said that he wasn't sure yet if he was playing in the Rose Bowl. You know, he's going pro, and this seems to happen every year, or at least the last few years, where guys, you know, talking about the brotherhood, but maybe the brotherhood's not as strong when you're going pro, and you might be a first-round pick. Haven't heard that about anybody else. Listen to the OHIO podcast boys today, and we had a lot of the same thoughts. Interestingly enough, as I was thinking through things, number one, I think we all agreed on Quinn Ewers that maybe used the Buckeyes a little bit to get his NIL, his name, image, likeness deal, and then in the second year, apparently I did not know this, but in the second year of that, for him to continue on with that NIL, there's some provision in there where you need to start X amount of games in it. I mean, this guy knew what the quarterback room looked like when he got here. And I don't think he put his whole being into it. Remember 4 games in against Akron when they were talking to Ryan Day, you know, C.J. Stroud wasn't starting, and they're talking about Jack Miller. They're talking about McCord. And so somebody brought up Quinn Ewers, and the coach said, hey, kids should still be in high school. He hadn't even learned the playbook. Well, 4 games in, if I was a quarterback, I'd like the coach to think that I knew the playbook, at least, right? So I'm not sure he ever learned the whole playbook. He did play a couple downs against, was that Michigan State or Purdue, one of those 2 games. So, you know what? If you ain't got your heart in it and what I call it, cutting and running. Go ahead. We got a new guy coming in from Utah, and one follows the other, and so it goes, as Linda Ellerby once said. Speaking of Utah and the Buckeyes playing in the Rose Bowl, I have the same concerns that the podcast guys have. Utah is a formidable team. They beat Oregon twice, back to back. Oregon beat us, albeit early in the season. We got better, but then we showed some weakness here. And as I said before, if Josh Gattis, the offensive coordinator of the Wolverines, if his comments don't get the Buckeyes fired up, then really, I'm not sure what would. And Gattis said, well, we really looked at Ohio State as a finesse team. We didn't really look at them as a physical team. Well, they were actually right. They out-physicaled us. And apparently the Utah Utes are a physical team. Kyle Whittingham's been there 17 years. And what I was thinking back, I didn't hear the podcast guys talk about this today or last night. But one thing I was thinking back on is I remember when Bama come off a loss and they didn't go into the playoff, and they went to, I believe it was to the Sugar Bowl, and they played the Utah Utes, and the Utes put a whooping on Bama. A serious whooping, actually. So we got to protect against that. We got to get our heads out of our rear ends. Maybe they're not even there, but if they are, we got to get them out. We got to get ready to play because we are the Ohio State, right? So I was looking, lastly, I think tonight, I was looking at the bowl games, and I didn't really see anything. Maybe once they start, I'll get into it a little bit. But I didn't really see anything that got me that excited after Christmas. There's one game, actually, on the 23rd, UCF, Florida, and they're playing in the, what bowl is that? They're playing at Raymond James, so I don't know. Is that the Outback Bowl? Maybe. But the Outback Bowl usually is played on New Year's Day. So, let's see. Maybe here. Let's go back a minute. Let's see what that is. Oh, it's the Frisco Football Bowl. I never heard of that. That must be a new one. But not till you get to the 28th, and then you got Houston, Auburn, Mississippi State, Texas Tech, UCLA, NC State. I don't know. The UCLA, we'll see if they show up or not. So, but I think it may be kind of a bowl season. Now, that doesn't mean that if the games aren't interesting to me, doesn't mean they won't be good games. But there may be some competitiveness there. We'll have to see. But anyway, I don't have anything else for you. So, America, land of the free because of the brave. Stay focused, America. Billy Bob is out.